welcome to Dungeon Pop. Today is Wednesday, so that means we get to play Dungeon Sphere. We're very excited about that. Unfortunately, Jacob can't be here because there was a last minute change with his orchestra or whatever he does, symphony or something.
His job.
He has one of the coolest jobs in existence. And something came up with it. So he can't be here, so we're gonna have a really chill evening. All right, but before we begin, just a reminder that the schedule for programming should be on a regular basis now. Mondays, Res Lore, Wednesdays, Dungeon Sphere. Thursdays, sometimes Patsy will draw with Percy's help. And that's all I have.
YouTube.
And there is a YouTube that we have regularly scheduled.
I will post the link in the chat in a hot sec.
Hell
you
yeah.
Can continue on with your stuff and such.
Well, I was just gonna say that's it, and here's a reminder of what happened. You fought a storm giant. Things went wrong. It ended up being maybe a longer fight than I had anticipated as the DM, because of reasons. But you managed to make it through.
Definitely
without
had
falling
to do with,
to your death.
With us getting Madness cast on half the team.
You know,
I
it
don't
happens.
understand the problem. There was no issues.
I don't think the madness only took up a turn or two. It was the range and the teleporting that had gotten us.
Yeah.
The blowing people off of the thing to start plummeting and stuff. That was fun. But after the defeat of the storm giant, a door appeared that was in the middle of your path up. You could avoid it, or you could go into the door. I think that the team has agreed that you're gonna go into the door. You might have some extra time. You can probably take care of it, and whatever you need to go in. You're also a little battered and bruised. So the door lurks in front of you, but you notice that Vrexil is a little quiet, a little to himself at the moment. He seems to have been quite perturbed about some of the things he might have said to his allies. And so he will promptly ask that once we're in there, I'm gonna need some time to myself with my tools and Soren. And thus, come back. And would you like to open the checkpoint door?
Yes.
We already have. We're already
You open
We go in the door.
You step in.
Kick that bitch
You cross
down.
through the threshold, and what you see is the normal sort of faux village that the checkpoint is, lush and much more decked out than the earlier levels. There's a fountain rolling and spewing water, rainbows in the mists, as it is a fairly quaint day here. There is not a lot different, but there are a couple more shops around before you can get a good look. And by shops, I mean like brick and mortar businesses within your range of sight. But anyway, before you begin, you step past the threshold of this door that you used to enter this little area, this mysterious place, and before you appears a familiar face, just suddenly teleported in front of all of you, is Quentin Giuliano, your liaison.
Nothing personnel, kid.
And he clears his throat. Welcome to the checkpoints. It's been a long time. I take it you all are doing well?
How dare you ask us that?
You know.
Well, listen.
How dare you?
Relative term.
Look, what do you got for us?
We come back looking like this.
And
you say those words to us.
Didn't really want to say anything, but yes. Jump to the fun part. The sponsors, There are quite a few. It's been some time since your last little sponsorship notes. So, who wants to go first?
Yeah, lay it on me.
All right.
What do we got?
Moxie. For you, you have been given a gift by the Collectors of Oddities Collective. 2 gifts, actually. And he hands you a little pouch that you jingle around, and there's some gold in there. If you were to count it, it would be 250 gold pieces. And then he hands you a little wrapped package. Feel free to open it whenever.
Can I shake it?
Yeah. It has a decent density to it, and it feels solid. There's no sound from inside.
Okay. Moxie's gonna ponder over it while other things are given out.
All right. Let me know when you open it. All right. Next up, let's give this to Vrexil. He has a gift from a mysterious donor with a simple message. That message is, the gnomes shall rise again. And they've given 500 gold to Vrexil. Next up, we have a special congratulations to Braenna for your giant slaying prowess with that hammer of yours. People are quite impressed with how you sunder your larger foes, and they have given you 500 gold pieces for your might. You also received a gift from Ornan and Wilda Browntrout of the Browntrout Brown Stout, famous brewers who were impressed with your drinking ability. You have been given a brewer supplies kit and an additional 400 gold pieces. A drop.
Oh, yeah, I can make more beer.
Canari, you have been given 300 gold pieces by the victims of the Church of Grimshishka Fund.
Oh.
Apparently they were quite impressed how you stuck it to them.
That's very kind.
Wait, was it 300 or 500?
300. Umbran, you have received 2 generous sponsorships. The first is from the League of Shadows. 200 gold pieces and a message that says that you are welcome in the League after your impressive use of the Book of the Boogeyman, should you survive the dungeon sphere.
Oh, so they're not assassins.
No, they just deal in the shadows and dark magics and stuff, I believe. You also received a 100 gold piece package. He hands you a pouch that has the 100 gold pieces in it. And also this tiny cape. This is from the Jerome Loyalists, aka the Jeromanites. They are starting a religion.
There's some weird ass motherfuckers out there who are worshiping normal frogs. He is a normal frog, and people are all like, man, that frog's got something going on, but he's just a regular frog.
Yeah, he's a cool frog.
And then for the group, we have 3 general donations. One is from Cyclops United, an advocacy group for Cyclops rights. They enjoyed how you respectfully interacted with Dugan, and I've provided 150 gold pieces, and he snaps his fingers, and 3 sheep appear behind him, and these 3 sheep.
Whatever, you're not sheep.
They're like fully plump.
They have
their hair
to
is
fight
very-
so hard because they keep trying to barter in sheep, and people are like, man, I'm not going to take your sheep, just get gold pieces. And they're like, no.
Ari immediately
trade in
goes
sheep.
over and hugs one.
They're very soft.
Oh, this is good. This is very nice.
Their fur seems to be well cleaned and kept, and they're not apprehensive of your approach, since they're used to much larger beings tending to them. Smaller beings don't seem like quite the threat.
You're with sheep.
And then you also have received Team Reaper Superfan Fan Club. They have given you a gift of 100 gold pieces and 5 potions of supreme healing, one for each of you.
Oh, ow.
Team Reaper Superfan Fan Club. They are your super fans. There is some crossover between the super fans and the Dromanites, actually.
I want to meet these Jeromanites because I have many questions. Like, I don't...
And your final sponsorship is from a mysterious, unnamed, anonymous donor. Forgive the redundancies, actually. They have given you all 1,000 gold pieces each with a message. Free her from her earthly shackles. I have no idea what that means.
Oh, no.
Is there a check Canari can
we
do
decline?
You can roll me an insight check.
Oh no. 15.
You're unsure. It seems out of nowhere. Like, who are they talking about? I don't know.
Is that 1,000 each?
Yes.
1,000 GP each to kill Canari.
And then I do have a little bit of an update.
Hate it.
On the
Severe supreme healing.
Supreme. The big one. Best one. I do have an update on this little checkpoint area. Of course, the Magic Emporium, ran by Claudius Vanderlyken, is still here. He has his 2 collections, his Claudius's Coruscating Creations and Collection, items that he has made himself or procured, or basically the only supplier of such things, and then internationally imported items. He also still can do tattoos, and he has a slew of spell scrolls that are available to you. Then Olive Branch returns with her curious concoctions and a selection of magical potions and consumables and such. Callum Ironbeard returns with the Ironbeard Forge and also has some new offerings and selections within his premises. Then the previous restaurant has been replaced with One Giant Hangover, a tavern that has a few specials. Also, it's run by a good friend of mine, a hill giant named Gordy. Not only do they have everything that you might want, but they have some specials, such as Fire Spit, which is a cinnamony, sort of spicy whiskey. And then some Mountain Mead. It's potently sweet with a sour aftertaste. Then a 3-headed lager. It's a chilled lager with 3 heads of ice cream in it. Actually, that's my favorite. And then a Thunder Brew, a bubbling rum that makes you belch like thunder. And of course, a Caribou Flank special. Then of course, there's the Hospitalities In You Go In, ran by the Tiefling Hospitality. Nabazar's Mundane Menagerie, ran by Nabazar himself. And Regalia's Bathhouse and Spa, if you wanted to have a nice little full-service treatment. Then, new to this area is Teeny's cherished companion room and board. All of the animal companions that have been left with me are now actually staying in Teeny's cherished companion room and board. Don't worry, your fees have already been paid for thus far. And then we also have Ludwig's Library of Arcanic Literature and Magical History. And you can actually get a library card there. 500 gold pieces. There's some special stuff that comes with that if you want to inquire Ludwig about it. And then last and certainly not least is Speedy G's Monster Parts Collector and Crafter. He takes monster parts that you have and either purchases them or speedily, since he's Speedy G, turns them into items that you can use on your adventures in the sphere. And of course, if you need me, I am nothing more than a little snap or a whistle away. Goodbye. And then he just snaps his fingers and he disappears. And Vrexil says, okay, I'm going to go be alone for a little bit. And then he goes and be alone for a little bit.
He goes to the library and we never see him again.
Him and Ludwig become best friends.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't even have to pay for the library card. They just let him in.
Yeah.
The 150 and the 100 gold that we got from superfans, that's divided between, so it'd be like 20 and 30 gold pieces each, right?
I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Cyclops United and Superfan Club is 250 gold pieces total, so that's 50 gold pieces each from that.
Fabulous.
Moxie, if you unwrap your package, you will find a small figurine of what appears to be an ebony fly.
Oh, more things. There it is. I'm gonna be able to add all of these in at some point. There it is.
What is Tiny Cape? Is Tiny Cape anything, or is it just Tiny Cape?
It's just a tiny cape for Jerome.
Jerome-sized tiny cape.
I put it on him.
I'm dashing.
Oh, the color doesn't match you, but
Can I fly now?
Sufficient. No, don't fly. No, can't fly. No.
Here I go.
He jumps and I spend a minute trying to catch him.
I will learn. All right.
Okay.
And what would you like to do?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the internationally imported items, and there is a manual of quickness of action, which would be great for Moxie, but I want it too.
I don't even. Oh man, there's stuff I didn't look at or I didn't see last time. I already know what I'm getting though, so I'm.
There's a lot of good shit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And plus, you can sell whatever you want.
What is that?
I do have a thing to sell. Maybe 2 things to sell.
I think I have something to sell. None of us want the sapphire buckler, do we?
I think we decided we are no shields.
Okay.
Team
We
no
don't
shields.
believe it. We believe in no shields.
I mean, I have a shield right now. I'm not using it, but I'm.
And I
mean, I just don't want to give away what that dragon gave us, but also there's no point in keeping it.
well, we could.
yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, we could leave it in the bag of holding for right now, or trunk of holding.
You should attach it to one of the sheep.
What does it do again? This sapphire,
Eh,
right?
yeah. So you get resistance to psychic and thunder damage. Then, if you take damage from a creature that's within 5 feet of you, you can use reaction to deal 2d6 thunder damage. And then there's also a thing that helps, like you locate aberrations until the end of your next turn within a mile of you. I mean, thematically, it's cool as hell.
Yeah,
I just don't have the attunement slots for it.
same. I'm trying to figure out what to get rid of.
Here is a question for you, Dev.
Yes.
We have the elemental essence shard of fire, which I think would fit very thematically in the ram's body with Andrew in it. And I feel like that would just be better than they're forge dwarves. He would feel more at home in a shard of fire than in a shard of the outer essence. Would we be able to switch his soul from one shard to another?
It's possible.
I could do it. I mean, I'm asking you permission, but I'm telling you that is something Umbran's able to do.
Okay. I'll say that you will be required to do an Arcana check.
Yes. Which I am very good at.
Hell yeah.
So then we'll have to wait. Because I have all these. I've got all these essence shards.
The collection.
I got so many, and I love the idea of putting Umbran's essence shard with another essence shard and forming them together to make like a crystal heart that's like heart shaped. inside of him. But again, I just don't have I'd have to give up the ring of protection to get another essence shard in there. Which, I mean, is doable.
Does
I get you a
anybody
gauntlet.
want the Staff of Fate? It's pretty dope, but I don't think I'm ever gonna use it.
Yeah, you got those soul catching gloves.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get the I'm gonna purchase the Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire!
I think is what it's called.
So we're very for getting rid of the Medallion of Astral Horrors, right? I want to keep it, and I want it to be useful, but it did more damage than good in the last fight.
Moxie doesn't see anything wrong with it, but also, she was only compelled to listen to people for like a minute, so.
I love it so much, and I want it to be useful, but it did give our gnome trauma, which I feel bad about.
How much would it cost to move the flame tongue weapon plus 2d6 fire damage and add that on? I would like to add it to the dwarven thrower.
Go ask your dad.
That's what Braenna would do.
I'd go with Braenna because I have questions about armor.
Yeah, we go.
Braenna!
Hey, Dad! I'm back!
He just runs up to you and squeezes you real tight and spins you around. It just like tears streaking down his face.
We're safe, it's fine.
I didn't know when I would be able to see you again, and this is the greatest day of my life.
Me too, Dan. I have a question.
Yes?
How much, and she'll pull out the flame tongue weapon and the dwarven thrower, would it take to move this flame a bit to this thrower?
You want to be able to light your dwarven thrower on fire.
I do. I think that would be pretty cool.
That will be really cool. I'll be honest with you. That's a complex transfer. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in just a day.
Is the time dilation here too weird, or is it?
No.
No?
Nope.
Ah. How long do you think it would take?
The resources I have here, I'm thinking it might take about a week.
And you're not here in like one where it's time dilated, right?
Correct.
Crap.
I might be able to cut it down to 5 days for you.
I don't think we have 5 days.
Could always leave it with me and then come back next time.
But I need this because it's pretty cool.
You're right.
I need to fight things.
All right.
How much would it cost?
Oh, well, if you're talking about taking this rare enchantment and putting on a very rare enchantment, I think that it could probably run you around 5,000 gold.
Oh my gosh. That's so much. Okay, I guess I won't do that then.
Hi, Canari. It's really good to see you, too. Thanks for taking care of my He comes and hugs you and squeezes you real tight and, like, starts crying into your dress.
Ribs. Ow, ow, ow.
Dad?
He puts you down. You've been healing her so good. It's just, so...
How did you crush me through misery? Jesus.
He flexes a little bit. These are them forging arms.
It's an armor thing.
Huh. Okay. Maybe a little bit less complicated with enchantment. I have and she pulls out the +1 chainmail that she had. Could you transfer this onto the armor I have on right now?
What armor do you have on right now?
Mithril plate. And Canari kind of ding-dang, like...
Oh, yeah. I felt that. Yeah, just a minor enchantment. I can transfer in probably just a few hours.
Great.
Maybe around 2 or 3.
That works just fine for me.
All right. And he smacks you on the shoulder.
But
Dad, be careful.
He's delicate.
Is there anything else I can do for you? Anything you want to sell me? You know, I'm pretty good at giving good deals with magic weapons and shields and armor.
How much would this get? And Canari would just hold up the sapphire buckler.
Sapphire buckler. Oh, he grabs it, and this is a real nice piece of work. He's like looking all around it. No, I could probably give you a good price for this. He like takes out some tools and starts inspecting it a little bit, doing a closer look, kind of just testing the waters with its capabilities. You see like some sparks and such just pop off of it. I could probably give you 15.
Okay.
Thousand.
Huh?
Yeah, this is a really nice, very rare piece of equipment you got here. And I could give you a fair price of 15,000 if, because I could probably sell it for about 20 to 30.
Okay. Canari just like very gently like takes it back and like just crawls her entire like body around it. Just kind of holds it really closely. It's like the most expensive thing she's ever seen or owned. Question for you, Dev.
Mm-hmm.
The different implements you have, do those require attunement?
I don't think they do.
No, they don't. They just require a command word.
Ah. Okay.
They're fun, aren't they?
Okay.
I really like them, yeah.
I was gonna say, because there's one that I'm really interested in, because okay. I mean, do we...
And if you get the whole set, something cool happens.
Oh my, that's so much money, Dev.
Oh my god.
So you could sell your sapphire buckler.
I know.
Yeah.
Nope, none of them require attunement.
Oh my god.
What are they?
The implements of, and then there's like 5. No, there's
Avarice,
5,
benevolence, curiosity, hope, justice, malice, succor, tranquility, wiles, or
Yeah.
wrath.
They all give you like 3 spells you can do. They're different.
There's 10 of the spells. We should each get 2 of them. And
Yeah.
then we can put our fists together and then something will happen.
They both have. They all have
the Power
3
Rangers.
thematically appropriate spells, and you can turn them into one of 2 weapons and/or armor. That is actually just weapons or armor, and each of them have like a special ability that happens when you like are using that specific item, weapon or armor, or shield. I meant to say shield.
All right, everyone pick 2 words associated with you.
I was
We'll
looking
go
at
from
the
there.
implement of hope.
Yeah, it's like the issue that I had was the one that I could actually use as a weapon was something that I didn't think Moxie would use.
Yeah.
There's only one that turns into a quarterstaff.
Yeah, I might buy that implement of hope. I just
Braenna, how long are you gonna be here for?
I think we might be here enough to get all rested up. So like a day, but that's it. I think, if I had to guess.
All right.
What?
Well,
what, Yuri?
If you're around later, you know, we should probably. I heard that they have some pretty good drink in that One Giant Hangover Tavern.
That's new. We
It
got it.
is.
We got to try it.
I think that we should have a belching contest.
Of
Drink
course.
that Thunder Brew.
Yes, we should. That is a requirement.
Whoever burps the loudest wins.
You. I think that is a good idea. Get a head start.
All right, bye. I gotta get started.
Question. Oh. One more question.
Okay.
Okay, so this.
You can ask me anything. Not a little beat.
This is.
Starts crying
off
again.
book.
Off book, okay.
No.
Off the record.
Is there? I'm looking for she pulls out her javelins. I keep on throwing these and they just go forever and don't come back. Is there a way that you can make it so they just come back? It can be of return, to return to my hand.
Yeah, I could probably do something like that.
How much do you think that will cost?
Let me double check on that for you. He pulls out this little manual. And it's a idiot's guide to pricing services and goods.
I love him.
Same.
All right, yeah, I could probably do something for 500 gold.
Okay, I would like to have you make a javelin of returning with a +1 modification on it. Would that be 600 gold total?
Yes, that would.
Perfect.
Oh, how much?
Your mother was smart to teach you math. It took me a long time.
Did I owe anything for the change in enchantment from the chainmail to my armor?
Oh, yeah. That's just 500 gold.
Okay.
600 from you, 500 from you.
I was gonna say
I'll have all this done in probably 4 hours total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'll let you know about the. Oh, and then could I just sell you the chainmail without the enchantment?
Yes, you may.
Okay. How much is that?
I could probably do 40 gold. Feel free to take your time to look around the shop. I got lots of stuff in here.
Yeah.
You just look around and you see this strange bracer that seems to have a little dagger ready to be pulled out whenever. You see this magnificent looking bow that has runic etchings across its side. You see this completely golden set of scale mail and more.
Yeah, I think Canari would look around for a while and just kind of just hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Braenna would kind of point out stuff look at that special, it's a special Armbeard method of linking all the stuff together. It's pretty great.
How did you even, come up with any of this? This is...
I know you'd have to ask great-grandpa Milton. He's the one that
is
really...
He the one... The kind of balding at the top of, super long...
Yes.
Beard, a little bit... Oh, okay.
He's the one that really started the whole getting everything going and really made a lot of fun techniques.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been iterating on it all of the time.
You know what, Braenna?
Yes.
That reminds me of something.
Huh.
We need to talk in private.
Okay.
Canari, is it okay if you step out?
Oh, sure. I'll let you know about the shield. I'm gonna go find Moxie and the sheep. Where are the sheep? And Canari just starts running.
Okay, Braenna.
If you guys had left the sheep alone with Umbran and Moxie, because we didn't go do anything, Umbran would have taken them to the stable.
Yeah. I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say
Run
teenies.
away.
Moxie would have probably headed over to the companion room and board anyway, to make sure that her stuff is paid up for the constable and the griffin, who I don't remember. Mango, I think is their name.
Mango. Yeah. All right, Braenna.
What's up, Dave?
I think it's about time to teach you the true Ironbeard method.
Yes. Braenna's like quivering with excitement.
A special way to make your item or make your weapons bonded to you
Okay.
and stronger than ever.
Like it.
You see that warhammer that you have?
Yeah.
Not the dwarven thrower, the warhammer.
Mm-hmm. So the Warhammer's one that's got the blood maul stuff on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want to make that even better?
Always.
We need to melt it down.
Okay. How long is this gonna take, Dan?
It might take all night
Okay.
if you're willing to stay up with me.
Yes.
Right. So the method.
Uh-huh.
We're called the Ironbeards for two reasons. One is because
Dang good
when
beard, right?
we have really good beards.
And they're made of iron.
No.
You're
No,
not-
we have really good
Yeah.
beards. And the second reason
Mhm.
is because when we forge our weapons for our own personal use, for the Ironbeard clan, once you reach a certain age and a certain prowess of skill in the forge and with wielding your weapons, you take your own blood and your own chin hairs and you
Got me.
merge that with, you have a few right there actually.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a, and
I don't
you
have that. I don't have that belt that makes him have a beard.
let that bond to the weapon before you pour it. The metal and such, the iron in our blood, and the iron in our beards.
Awesome.
And then the weapon becomes one with you.
Amazing. What does that mean?
Oh, it means a lot of things, but you're not sure until it happens, because it awakens with you.
Okay, yeah, we're doing that for sure.
Every weapon has a different capability to it.
Is it gonna talk to me?
Probably.
All right.
Always wanted a weapon that would talk to me. I talk to them, but they don't answer
So anyway,
yet. Yes, let's do
we'll
it.
finish everything else that you were gonna do and then get back here.
Okay. Yeah.
Once I'm done with your things, then we can get to work.
Since it's a special Armbeard method, does that mean it doesn't cost me nothing?
Correct.
Okay.
Except your blood, sweat, and tears,
I got a
and
lot of
chinny
them.
chin hairs. Hairs on that chinny chin.
Perfect. Okay, I need to go and talk to Dooley.
You can also use your regular hair.
my regular hair. I hope so,
Yeah.
because my chinny chin hairs is most blank now. But I need to go talk to Dooley real quick. Cause
All right, I'm gonna get started.
okay, you let me know when you get that javelin done, and we can bring Canari back to you when you have the shield done, or the what did Canari get? Armor? Her armor done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back
And-
shortly.
Canari, you run up, trying to find the sheep, and they're currently nowhere to be seen. And Umbran and Moxie have both gone to go do something as well. And so you're just kind of in the center, just like, okay, where did they go? But then we're gonna flash over to Teeny's church companion room and board, and you're negotiating with Teeny, a teeny tiny little fairy who is just a foot high, standing on top of the counter, and it's kind of like the Pokemon daycare, where it's like there's a door in the back and there's a whole counter and everything's sort of set up like that. You don't ever get to go back there, but you know they're back there.
Well, hi, my name is Teeny. Welcome to Teeny's Cherished Companion on Board. We take care of your teeny tiny little cherished companions. And we can also train them up.
Do you do discounts for multiple animals? Would you do discounts for multiple animals?
No.
Alright, well, I don't know what they want to do with these sheep, but I have 2 bundles of joy that I would like to pay up until the next time I can get here. How does that work?
You give me a flat rate cost of 50 gold pieces, and they can stay indefinitely during your time.
So it's not like per day or anything, it's just like a flat rate?
That is correct.
Okay, well, I have 2 in there, so I'll go ahead and
100 gold pieces, please. You can also offer the magical munchies, which will advance their aging process.
Yeah, can I do one of those? The other one just eats rocks, so.
Yeah, we will feed you a griffin. Magical munchies.
Sweet. I need it to be.
That's an
additional 20 gold pieces.
Okay. Can I leave?
You just hear, "Hey Frank!" from this little fairy, and and this hobgoblin appears out of the back. Yes, master.
We got 2 people, or 2 honored guests, to be taken care of and fed magical munchies.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I leave these sheep
He
here
leaves.
for a second? I don't know what we're doing with them yet.
Sorry, but if you are going to leave your sheep, you will have to pay.
Alright, well, maybe someone will be back with them. Moxie's gonna go find someone else to.
The sheep
figure
just
out what
follow
to do
you.
with the sheep.
They're very, very attentive to wherever you're walking. All right, who wants to go next? Moxie, you'll see Canari standing in the middle of this like little square, a little lonely.
What do you want to do with the sheep?
And Umbran, where are you at the moment?
I'm gonna go see Claudulius.
You meet up with Braenna on the way there, and
Oh, good. Braenna, will you put this in your magic pocket for me? And I unattune to the docent, and I hand her my eye.
I'm not sure how much more is going to fit in my pocket, because...
It's an eyeball. I'm sure it'll fit. Thank you. And then I keep walking.
you just hear a whisper of betrayal as you pop that eye out.
I'm coming back, okay?
And then back to the sheep.
Okay, I can pay for the sheep, that's not an issue. I was hoping to get the... Brain's dad is offering me a lot of money if I sell the sapphire buckler, and I don't think anybody else uses it, but that could mean that I could buy some really cool stuff, but I also don't want to get rid of Goldeus's shield.
You know, he'll probably be okay with it. I mean, it's a gift, right? And you're allowed to do with gifts what you are, whatever. Plus, we still have the picture of Pebble, and I think that that's more important. And then Moxie, like, whips out the picture of him eating cake, the little dragon all covered in cake.
Yeah, that's just at the ready.
Excuse
Oh,
you.
it's fine, it's fine.
It's just at the ready at all times to pull it out.
Yeah. Moxie's got it in her
Look at
pocket
Pebble.
at all times.
Well, I mean, if that's...
Plus, wouldn't he
that's
be
true.
happier that we were able to use his sweet gift to get other sweet things?
Well,
Do you
we
think
did
that
use the
the
shield a
ins-
lot.
Yeah. So I think he'd be fine with it.
Well, Did I find his partner in the mists?
Yeah, we did, and I
Okay.
don't remember if we like got a message to him or I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he met us at the exit, right? And he was like, "Thank you very much for like doing this thing for me, and like I really appreciate it." So I think we have a couple passes to be like, well, we needed to get other things, and it was a really good deal, and like it's not that we don't appreciate it, but we'd rather it be used.
Well,
Also, he was super rich. I'm sure he doesn't care about a shield that he plucked off a pile of treasures, and he was like, here, take this.
And Umbran randomly walks up.
Also, he's not real. Nothing in the dungeon sphere is real.
There it is.
Okay, well, I mean, if I do that, then I can at least buy this other thing that I had my eye on that also can end up being a shield.
Oh, well, see, then it's a shield for a shield. Your debt is repaid. I don't know if there was a debt, but that sounded like a fun thing to say, so.
Okay, well, I'll just, let me, Canari will go in and give the 150 gold to board the 3 sheep.
Thank you for using T's Sheriff's Companion room and board.
Okay, thank you, yeah, bye.
That varies weird.
I don't understand how any of that works.
Same, but apparently they're gonna feed my griffin some munchies, and maybe I'll be able to write it by the next time we come.
Well, that'll be fun. I have a carpet, do you have a griffin? Umbran has a dog.
Oh, I also have
Vrexil.
that fly now that I just got, and apparently I can also ride that, so, you know.
So what you're saying is we need a chariot.
Yeah. We could
And
be
then
like Santa, just a big sleigh, but instead of reindeer, it would be like a griffin and a giant housefly, horsefly, and a carpet. I think that'd be cool.
Hey, you know what? I think it gives us something to do after we're done in the sphere.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, during the sphere, depending on what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
If we think we're gonna die, I think we should do it at least once.
We could be a regular Prince Ali song, basically, at this point. I have enough animals to make it work.
How many can you summon at a time? Can you just, get all of them?
Uh-huh. There's there's nothing that says I can't summon multiples at once. It's just that then I would be like, most of them just have, the fly can't be used after 2 days, and it can only be out for, 12 hours.
It's probably a good thing to save them. I was gonna say we could do a parade, but...
The goat is out of service. My terror goat is out of service for another 2 weeks.
Ooh.
After Vrexil killed it.
I mean, I don't think the goat was the only source of terror in that battle, so...
Yeah. To be fair, the other 2 are fine. I can still use those ones.
Oh, okay. Well, in any case, parade once we're out of all of this.
Yeah, I need to go check and see if there are more animals, though, at Cladulius.
Okay, well, why don't we go over there now? I'll talk to Umbran and Braenna and Vrexil before I do it, but I think I'll probably sell that shield then.
So, before Cladulius's, Canari hops over to the Ironbeard Forge to sell the shield?
No, she's gonna talk to everyone else first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So before Moxie and Canari find their way to Cladulius' shop, Umbran and Braenna walk up to a newly renovated shop. 3 stories tall. A very prominent building that has flashy signs and such that says the Magic Emporium over it. Definite upgrade. And there are sliding doors in the front.
Has he gotten more pretentious, or is that just me?
Yeah. It's gonna be insufferable. Let's go.
I'm gonna call him Dooley the whole time.
When you enter...
Be nice. I do need to trick him into doing something stupid, so...
I'll let you go first, then.
Okay.
When you enter, you see that it's an open-air building, so the central area goes all the way up to the ceiling, and the interior walls have balconies that overlook. So it's 3 separate floors with spiral staircase that leads up to each floor. There's spiral staircases on both sides of it. And it's a pretty spacious area as well. I have a picture of it somewhere. But the most notable thing, other than the fact that there are no other team members here or anything, is that there's not just one Cludulius. There are several. Multiple just around the shop, cleaning certain shelves. There's someone who's just floating with a balloon attached to his back, cleaning a little mobile that's hanging from the ceiling. And there's a Cludulius behind a desk and a cash register, and there's a Cludulius who's manning the underground gem caves where you go to get certain magical stones and crystals and such. You get to dig for it yourself. And there's even a little room in the back for to test things out. It's like a free trial room. Welcome! And suddenly there's a little billow of smoke in front of you, and as the smoke clears, there's little gnome Cludulius in his wizard hat with a little lop at the top, and his oversized robes around him, and he looks like a stereotypical cliche wizard.
You made it! Is that a new fit for him?
A little bit. It's a little bit more branded, a little bit more on brand.
I love the new look. Very magical.
Thank you. I actually had, because of this show, a lot of investors appeared, and they bought so much stock options. He's just emotional about this. I was able to upgrade, and it's been wonderful. And plus, there's only one employee. Me! The greatest employee of all time!
Sure, that truly saves on costs.
Nice.
Speaking of,
yes.
I have items to sell and an item to purchase.
I found what it looks like. I'm going to show it to y'all.
If all things permit.
And kind of like what he looks like now. Oh, he has a little chipmunk that's on his hat too.
Adorable.
Just hanging out. All right, so it looks like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Is the beard also?
The beard is new.
What? It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. That means a world to me that you are able to compliment me in such fashion.
Truly. Well, fashion is the key word here.
Now, what might I interest you? Oh, and here come your friends! And that's when Canari and Moxie come in, too.
Mind.
Has it always been this big?
As you walk in, another billow of smoke, and a second Cludulius appears in front of you. Welcome to the Magic Emporium, my friends! It is so lovely to see you! And then the other Cludulius is like, hey, bucko, I already got these ones. They're together. Oh, well, you don't have to be rude about it. And then he disappears into a puff of smoke. And then
Truly the best employee. Get along so well.
Canari will just use a Actually, I don't know if she has any cantrips that would like clear the air, so she's just like fanning her arms.
You know, like a puff of wind.
You just blow really hard.
The vapor actually smells a little bit like lavender.
Well, at least
The
it
mists.
smells good.
Yeah.
I got it in my mouth though. Oh. Hi.
Hello. He has a big, bright smile on his face.
Oh, that's
Happiest little guy
exciting.
you've ever seen.
That is
I
very
require
exciting.
things.
I also require things, but if
so
everyone
many things
else
for
wants
you.
to go first, sure.
Oh, first.
Well, I gotta look around. I just got here. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. So.
I've been
free to
trying
go.
to do a bit for about an hour, but it's fine.
Feel free to look around.
Oh,
Remember,
right.
it's always better to sell things first so that you have money to buy things.
Umbran, do you want this? Otherwise, I'm gonna go sell it to Braenna's dad.
No, we've already been over this. The shield is of no use to us.
Just was okay.
It's
Sounded
okay.
just-
You can.
I know. I just wanted your opinion. That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
Braenna.
I reach way up to pat you on the head.
I'm
Stand
only
on my
3 inches
tiptoes.
taller than you.
No, you're not. I'm 5'2" and you're 5'8" or
6.
something.
That's Moxie. Moxie is the tallest at 5'8". I
I'm
think.
like
Or
4
no.
inches.
What is she?
5'11".
I
I think you're 5'11".
Anyway.
5'11".
Canari's.
Yeah. I made her
Canari's
taller
playing out
specifically because we were all short.
Yeah.
Canari's gonna go back and sell the sapphire buckler then.
All right. We'll just say
Have
that
fun with
happens. 15,000 gold pieces to ya.
Okay.
Bye, sapphire buckler.
Now, what is Umbran doing? I need to know.
I have items to sell, and if that is not enough, I have another extra special item to sell. But first off, the Medallion of Astral Horror. I would love to keep it, because I think one day we might find a good use for it. But unfortunately, it has deeply injured one of my friends.
Oh, we can't have that, can we?
With a heavy heart, I give up the Medallion of Astral Horrors.
Oh, well, this is a wonderful item. Wonderful
But don't
item
tell anyone
indeed.
else about it.
All right. Why?
I don't know. I don't want anyone else using it.
I want to use it.
Oh, this is gonna go into my personal collection.
Okay, that's fine.
How much?
I could probably offer you 8,000.
Excuse me. Okay. If this bitch was gonna be like, I don't know, I'll do like 100. I've been like, no, thank you, I will keep it. I will
Around
take
8,000. 8,017 gold pieces.
17. Oh my god, I don't even need to sell it. Okay.
He just holds this medallion like a prized treasure.
The consequences of this will reign very far, I'm sure, but for now I will agree.
He whistles, and a little Cladulius on a broomstick flies by, and has a little sack on his back, and he says, "Put this in the personal collection." And then he puts the medallion in the little backpack,
An outer
like a wicker
essence
basket.
shard.
and then he zoots away.
Outer essence shard chaotic.
You want to sell that
Yeah.
as well?
Yes.
Outer essence. You said it's chaotic.
Chaotic, yes. With a heavy heart, I delete the metal. The medallion of Astral Horrors from my inventory.
All right. Let's see here. Doing some math.
This means I can actually buy something for myself if I want it.
Aw, yeah.
I could give you 1,532 gold pieces for this.
1,532. Wonderful. Is for you. And then lastly, potato potential. How much you
You're
give me
selling
this
me
potato?
Aw,
You're
you
selling me a
want your
potato.
Yes, it's a magic potato.
Magic potato?
Magic potato.
Why not just eat it?
Does it look like I can eat things, Claudius? Does
He,
it look like a 10% chance of something
grabs on.
long-lasting happening is worth it to me?
You pull out the potato, and he stumbles back. Oh, that potato is a legendary potato.
Yes. Will you take it or not?
I most surely would. He gulps out. I'll give you 40,031 gold pieces for it.
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what? One more time for me, what?
40,032. No, not 32. What did I say? 40,051.
40,000.
40,251.
251. Yes, take my potato.
Oh my god.
This is a legendary potato.
I don't know what to do with this much money. Okay.
I think I wanted to eat that potato.
Okay.
Oh, it's a wait. I'm gonna say 20,000. It's a consumable. I forgot that those are halved. 20,250.
Y'all, bitch, I'll take it.
Yeah, right?
That's a 20251. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Never had this much money before. Ever. I was gonna do this fun bit where I was gonna try to sell you my own eyeball, but now I don't think we want to do the bit anymore.
Braenna's still holding on to the docent, by the way, because the portable hole is full of RAM.
Yeah, you can drop an eyeball-sized ball in there. No, I was gonna do this fun bit where I was gonna take out my other actual eye and be all like, "It's my eye," but I don't. I think we're good. Yeah, well, the first thing I want to buy, and now I don't even have to ask my friends for money, which is great. I want to buy a ring of regeneration.
Follow me. I will take you to the jewelry section. And he takes you through this mini mart of a magic shop. And he takes you, it's on the first floor, and it's actually a little closer to the left corner from when you had entered. And there's just like this array of different magical jewelry. You see a necklace with multiple red balls on it. You see a token in the shape of a feather and an anchor and other items, and you see a few rings. One appears to be like a feather, one appears to be like a strange looking eye, and then the one that you want, your eyes fall upon. And Claudius opens up the little glass cabinet, reaches in, grabs the ring in its little ring box, and holds it out to you.
Wonderful. This is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much.
It's a very simple ring. Looks as though it has a wooden texture with green embellished gems that look almost like leaves on this band. That will be 8,108. I don't think that's going to be a problem for you at the moment.
No, not anymore. It's not. Almost a complete trade for the medallion. Wonderful. I shall also spend some time perusing now that I am fat with coin. But for now, I will allow my friends to do whatever they're looking for. As I add up all my money with my calculator brain. So
when this Claudius took Umbran to the jewelry section, another Claudius appeared, not in smoke. This time he just kind of like hobbled up, and he looks the same except his he has a name tag that says Claudius, but then it has like a strange arcane like wordings underneath that you can't make out.
Hi, Dooley. I think.
Hello.
Dooley? Yes.
You may call me whatever you want.
Dooley.
I'm nothing more than a copy.
That's sad. I was told by one of my cousins that sometimes people find these books that make them, they have like good exercises and things, and I would like to know how that works here.
Oh yes, let me take you to the book section.
Okay.
He whistles and a little flying carpet flies around and appears right in front of you. Hop on!
Okay.
And once you hop on the carpet, it swirls up through this center open air area and takes you to the top 3rd floor. And you go into this little tucked back section that's just a wall to wall of just books galore.
Awesome. Do you like? So I heard one that had like exercises to make you more dexterous and things. Do you have any other ones?
Lots of footwork. Lots of sewing.
Yes, but
can help too.
So we have that. How exactly does it work though? Because like it seems like you need a lot of time to learn how to do all these exercises. Is that still the case here, or is there some weird time dilation stuff that makes it work better? He
grabs the book and he pulls it out, and the cover says "Manual of Quickness of Action," and it's a very, very ornate antique book, and you feel power emanating off of it. Well, this standard for these types of books requires you to spend exactly 48 hours reading it in a 7-day period. I think 7-day period. I might be wrong. Or maybe it's like 2 weeks. 6-day period.
Yes. Is that
There's no way to bypass that. It must be 48 hours of your own personal time, but if you are in a time-dilated space, I presume that whatever time you're experiencing while reading the book will be the time required to read it.
Okay, so if I get it here, and then we go to the
in-between?
The in-between ones, I could take a week and read there. Do
yes.
all the exercises.
Yes, you may. That should do it. And then it will lose all of its effectiveness for 100 years.
Dooley, do you have something where I could put it in that it will be 100 years in it, but not for me, and then somebody else could use it after that?
That kind of magic is not for mortals to wield.
We should just get a bunch of the magical munchies and shove it in the book.
You don't have like a special space where time moves
faster?
No. Why not?
Because it will tear open the fabric of reality.
We're already pushing it with the dungeon sphere, man. We can't do any more.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of time dilation stuff in the
and then he explodes in a puff of glitter and powder.
Dooley?
And there's a little note that appears with it. And it says 9,090. Check out at the cash register up front.
Okay.
9,090. Yep.
So
GP.
Random question. So I have the pennant of the Vindaroon and the banner of the Kriegrune. Those are needed to fight the king, yes? Or are they just prizes?
You need the runes. If you try to sell them, Clueless will be like, nope, sorry, can't do that.
Those are
They're marked as key items in our inventory. Yeah. We can't drop them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to add that to my
Annual of Quickness of Action
thing, but I'm not going to equip it yet. Because when I put it in my inventory, but it's not equipped. Because when you equip it, then it bumps up your stuff. And then I'll get another AC bonus, and it'll be great. I'll be at 23.
Oh, yeah.
Umbran, you do pass, once you're done with the jewelry section, you do pass an instruments section.
Well, I mean, none of them are liars, are they?
There's a lyre of building.
Yeah, that sounds stupid. We are here for combat items only. too late to change my MO.
All right. And Moxie, another Cladulius appears in front of you and Canari.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Whoa. Hi.
Oh, okay. You're really intense today. I have stuff to sell, and Moxie's gonna sort of grab the Staff of Fate and put that down.
You want to sell this?
Yeah.
All right. So let me give it a little look over. And he takes one of those little like magnifying like eyepieces things that he holds up to it real close to check for its quality, see if there's anything that stands out to him. Ooh, this is a very, very, very wonderful staff that you have here.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's very cool. I'm glad that you recognize how cool it is. That's surprising coming from you.
Well, that's rude.
And I'm thinking that I could probably give you 13,078 gold pieces for it.
Okay. That's cool.
He flips over his hat and he reaches in and his hand goes real deep inside and he pulls out a big sack of coin and hands it to you.
And then Moxie's also
and he sticks the staff in the hat and it disappears.
Oh, that's pretty. I'm gonna have to learn that one day. Moxie's also gonna sell the Dragonhide belts +1.
Didn't you just buy this from me?
Yeah, but I need other things, and frankly,
it was me.
The attunement requirement doesn't really.
All right, this is a +1.
Yeah.
A +1, a +1, a +1. I could give you 283 gold pieces.
That's fine.
He also sticks that in his hat and pulls out another little pouch.
I'm gonna keep my potato for now, I think. And I guess I'll keep this tattoo for now. Okay. I also then have a question. Someone mentioned books at one point, which, like, first of all, gross. But do you have one of gainful exercise by any chance? I don't see it on the list. But...
Gainful exercise, I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, could you, like, I don't know, find one?
I could try.
Cool. And then save it for me, though, because I asked for it, so.
Okay, let me just speak to my manager.
Okay. Isn't that you?
No. I'm Cladulius 743.
Oh, is your manager, like, Cladulius 100?
Yes, it's 100 or up. 100 to 1. Those are the managers. The first 100. We are not as exact as the first iterations.
Copy of a copy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you know, the further you get from the original, you know, the more you get to be yourself. That's pretty cool.
He pulls out a sending stone and he speaks into it. We have a request for an item to potentially procure and put into our wares. We are looking for a manual of gainful exercise.
I gotta get those gains, you know.
And there's a message that he like holds it up to his ear. You don't hear it. And then it's like, okay, it has been looked into, or it is being looked into.
I'd also, there's a ring that I would like to get. It's of Flaming Fists and the lions. If you have any other wondrous figurines.
Oh yes, I do have both of those things. A ring of Flaming Fists runs. Oh, let me take you to the jewelry section. He takes you to the jewelry section. 1,407, and then what was the other thing? Oh yes, let me take you to the knickknacks aisle. And he takes you to the knickknacks aisle, and there's a bunch of knickknacks. And one of the knickknacks is a figurine of wondrous power. 2 golden lions. 2,071.
Okay. Let me add those to my inventory. Oh, well, I'll do that in a second.
So that's easy. Oh, anything else?
Yeah. The Parasol of 4 Winds.
Oh, that is a fun one as well.
Sure is, and it doesn't require attunement.
It does not. And plus, it's cute.
Hell yeah. And when it rains, I have a parasol now, so no more wet head for Moxie.
Oh, a head for Moxie. Well, I definitely agree with your reasonings. And so let me total all of that up. No, there are no discounts.
That's
For a total of
already.
6,497.
Okay, here you go.
Do you throw the gold at it in the air?
Rickety dickety doo!
Right.
Oh, I do have a book that is interesting. It's called a Manual of Clay Golems, but that won't help you get any buffer.
Yeah, I don't care about golems. I mean, if I would if I met one, but like I don't need one.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I have this sweet parasol, which like spins it around. And then...
Oh, when you spin it, there's like a light breeze that like comes over you, and your hair kind of billows a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
And another Cladulius appears in front of Canari.
Hello.
This one's missing an arm.
Oh my. Do you,
Oh, it is I, Cladul.
You saw the Leos in that one arm.
Canari like has a spell prepared to like heal, and then like just brings it back and remembers, and she's like, right, okay, so I think I am pretty...
It smells like you've just earned quite a bit of gold that you want to spend. It smells almost like smoke and ash because it's burning a hole in your pocket.
I think Canari just has the most like mom, like concerned face on her right now. Oh, and she just says, actually, I was interested in looking at the implement of, just the various implements that you have available.
I'll take you to the implement row. And then he claps and a portal appears in front of you. Step through. You step through and another Cladulius awaits you on the other side and he says, "Welcome to the implements aisle." And you see the balcony and you look down and you're just floor up.
Okay.
And in this aisle, there seems to be 10 very prominently displayed little rods that have engravings on the side that each indicate the sort of virtue or in virtue that they are of.
I think Canari can spend some time looking at all of them and then settles her eyes on one that has kind of magic runes and shields on the side of it as she picks up the implement of hope.
Very good eye. Very good eye indeed. With this, you will be able to cast the spell Sanctuary, Beacon of Hope, and Dawn. And you may use a command word, whatever command word you assign it when you purchase it, to turn it into either a shield with an enchantment on it or a longsword with an enchantment on it. But the special property is that while you are wielding this weapon or shield, it's supposed to say weapon or shield, creatures, your friends around you who end their turn within 10 feet of you have advantage on saving throws made to end spells or magical effects at the end of their turn. Very useful, especially if you run up to try and aid those in peril.
Very good. I'll take this. And I don't know if I...
Now, the cool thing about these implements, each of them my own creation, but mind you, Well, not Claudius, the Greats. Number one. Anyway,
we pause for a moment of silence. I lead him in prayer. I don't know.
Anyway, when you buy this and you create the command word and you turn it into a shield or weapon, it appears in a form most befitting you, with symbols and engravings, yes, reminiscent of shields and such, but since you worship Celestian, there might be stars laden across this shield, or a weapon that reflects the twilight sky, kind of like a butterfly knife, like with those rainbow steel looking. What's that called? What is that called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like Damascus?
Rainbow stainless steel.
I have
what causes rainbow? You have a gay knife.
I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, where like when you have it in light, the like rainbow kind of goes across it, right?
Oh, it's when you anodize titanium. I think. Well, anyway, it could look like the twilight sky, etc., etc. It all kind of depends on you. So basically, you get to determine how it looks and everything, because that's cooler.
Yeah, I think Canari kind of holds the rod and like twirls it in her fingers, and like as she does it, her hand wraps around it and it extends into like this blade of like twilight sky, almost very similar to like a sun sword, but instead it's kind of got like soft shimmering moonlight, almost like a twin to Umbran's shadow scythe. Just kind of like the two sides of night. And then she twirls it again as it turns back into a rod, and then she slides it on her other arm, and the shield that forms is almost like kind of the hologram that you'd see like Vrexil's like Wall of Force and things like that, but this is like a very pale night summer sky with swirling stars and little like planets moving about through it.
There. Oh, that is 4,911 gold pieces.
Great.
I would also like to purchase an implement as well.
Umbran appears through the portal. I would also.
And look, and Canari pulls out her sword.
Oh, yes, another customer for the implements. What one draws you to it?
What juxtaposes hope more than malice, I say. Picking up the rod
of malice,
which resembles thorns and magic.
Oh yes, the malice one. Wonderful item.
I like to imagine that they're like the little the rods that they use in Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of exactly those instead of it's just a metal rod. It's got like little orb in the moon, and
it turning into a weapon was because of Percy Jackson and his little pen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson.
With the implement of malice, you will be able to cast the spells Crown of Madness, Phantasmal Killer, and Mental Prison. Very good. Oh, you can also use a bonus action to turn this into a pistol or a dagger.
Because I wanted a better dagger, because I got stuck with having to hit something with a normal dagger, and I was like, I should go get my dagger upgraded.
And
it is a question dagger.
Again, it appears however you desire it to. You come up with the command word. Also, Canari, what's your command word?
In the name of the moon, I'll punish you.
When you hit a creature with the weapon, it deals an additional 1d8 psychic damage. It hurts the mind.
Yeah, brain damage. It's my most common damage type. Yes, I fancy this.
Moxie's
4,911.
I do that.
You pop out of the portal.
Hey.
Oh, another one! Do you want an implement?
Yeah, can I get the implement of sucker?
Yes. With this, you can cast the spells Healing Spirit, Create Food and Water, and Guardian of Faith. You see that there are engravings of flames along it. Is it supposed to be flames? Or is that supposed to be... Yeah, I think it's supposed to be flames. Oh, it's not supposed to look like flames. Because that doesn't make any sense. Resemble... what should it resemble?
I mean, it could be like water instead, like...
Yeah, sure, water.
Because you can create food and water with it, so...
Yeah, and it's like healing. Yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful item, and you can turn it into a whip
Hell yeah.
or a quarterstaff. And anytime a creature regains hit points, anytime you heal or someone gets healed when they're within 10 feet of you, they can heal an additional 1d6 hit points.
And then Braenna walks through the portal.
Braenna walks through the portal.
Wow.
Guys having a party without me?
Yeah,
And the
we're
portal
getting
closes.
magical girl. We're getting matching magical girl wands.
Oh, I got this book. I can't get it. I can't get one of those.
Do you want one?
I have so many weapons and things already. I don't need more.
Yeah, but
Okay.
this one
But
does.
you could cast magic.
I literally only have 122 gold, guys.
Yes.
And plus, when you're aging, you can't cast
I
anything.
can't cast
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, that's true.
Well, there are times, I know it sounds sacrilegious for me to say this, there are times out of combat you can cast magic. I know that it's Vrexil's decision to make, but I really want to get him the Rod of Curiosity. Like a lot.
Remember, these aren't attunement, so you can get as many as you want and use as many as you
It
want.
has legend lore on it. He would love that.
You
I don't
would.
know what a lance or a spear would do for him. Literally nothing, but he could cast legend lore. He'd love that.
But you're proficient with the weapon when you cast it, so
You
I
are.
mean, he would suddenly just be proficient with that lance or whatever.
His,
I'm sure he would mount it as like a harpoon.
I was gonna say
Like-
his thing just turns into a drill and he starts
Yeah,
spinning.
yeah.
All right, is there anything else that you would like?
No.
Anything? Nothing? That's it?
I might be back. I'm
All of these wonderful things in here, and you got what? A book?
I got a
Some
book.
rods?
This book is going to be very, very helpful. But I just
Okay,
need
I mean, that's
time.
fine.
Books take
That's fine.
forever to
So-
read, man.
Don't you have another one? Did he die? Did the gnome die?
No, he's
No,
busy.
he's just
he's having a rough day of it, okay?
yeah, he'll be back another time. One other thing. Are you able to upgrade this? And she holds up her amulet of the vow.
Yes. What's the enchantment on it right now?
Well, it's a +2 right now.
Oh, I could make it a +3 for 25 gold. 25,000 gold. 2,500
Like
gold.
25, upgrade everything.
2,500!
Canari just slams the gold down.
Yeah. All right,
yeah.
I should have this done in a few hours.
Oh.
He snaps and another Cladulius appears out of another portal. Take this to the workshop and upgrade it from grade 2 to grade 3, if you will. And the other Cladulius says, well, I don't have anything better to do. And then he takes it
A little bit of
grumpily
a
and
sass
walks
problem
back to
with
the
your
portal.
clones. I might be back later, but I'll have to think about it.
Friends, I spent all my money. I'm going to go back and talk with my dad because we're going to get some stuff done and it's going to be great, guys.
We can make phone calls from here, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go find the last time I talked to Hawking and what I asked her.
And as you are leaving the shop, Quentin is walking up.
Hi, Quentin.
Hi, I just
Oh gosh.
figured that you might be interested in the status of the other teams, maybe. If that would interest you, I have that.
Oh, finally something
Yeah,
useful.
why not?
All right. Well, Team Hydra, of course, has made it to the end, but he like does a little glance around and he leans in. I have it on good authority that the reason they made it is because they were able to ride a gold dragon to the top from this a special item that they found. And also on good authority from the same source, something or someone is helping them to know where the best items in the dungeon sphere are. And that is how they have been able to get ahead.
So they're cheating.
Is there a way to trap a hag?
I think there are several ways, but I don't know if I mean,
Look, all I'm saying.
Do you want me to look into that for you?
Is that, yeah, that.
Actually, yes, there is a spell called Magic Circle. If you let a hag get it into a magic circle, you can trap it. You can also, there is a certain spell, actually I know it myself, called Planar Binding, where you can actually bind it to your service for a certain amount of time. This is actually the type of magic I personally specialize in. So I'm very excited to talk to you about it. Yes! I'm very good with the abjuration magic, if I do say so myself. Anyway.
Is this speculation or has this been confirmed?
What?
Whatever you were saying before, I missed the first part.
Oh, well, I did hear it from a source that I believe is reliable. But it's not as though they'll confirm it or anyone will confirm it, and it's not breaking any rules. There are no rules.
So
I mean, there's some rules.
Anyway, Team Phoenix has made it through. The other teams are behind you. However, I mean, if you do stay here for a little bit of time, they might get ahead, unless they choose to also come to the checkpoint.
I don't know how people aren't getting the shit kicked out of them from these.
Oh, they are. They just managed to scrape by. Similar
I
to...
do not find that to be true.
Oh, no?
I am a proficient magic user myself. The resources needed to make it through this are taxing.
Oh, you're right. They should probably need to step into the checkpoints. Will they? That's up to each team. Yeah. So anyway, and then suddenly the fountain behind all of you explodes with water. And at the top of this fountain is a Merid, the same Merid from before. And you hear, I have found you once again. And this time I brought back up. And he has 3 elemental, water elementals rise up out of the fountain as well. But each of them are clad in this iron-looking armor as the 4 elemental beings stand before you, and you all turn around, seeing the revenge burning in his eyes. And that's where we're gonna take a break. Oh, Claudulius' shop, as soon as this happens, like there's instantly like a magical barrier and like a mithril shields like closing around each door and window, completely locking up.
Oh my goodness. We'll be back.
We'll be back to fight a Merid.
10 to 15
Hey guys,
minutes.
I'm unattuned to my docent, which means I might die here.
Oh
no.
We'll be back
Sorry.
when we figure it
Don't
out.
die.
You know, strength of rage.
Bye.
And we are back. The Merid has emerged from the fountain with some backup, and he is here for revenge. And this is a great way to do something while Jacob is not here without progressing the story. So let's fight.
You know all the phone calls that we were excited to make today? Don't be excited for them. This fight's gonna take an hour.
We're gonna do that next week. Anyway, roll initiative. Bitches.
No, what if I just walk away?
I mean, that is an option. You can always just be like, we don't have time for this.
I'm going to bed. All right, bye.
Claudulius, let me in!
Julius, you bitch! Open the doors!
All right, did anyone roll over a 20?
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
23.
Not bad. Canari, what'd you get?
20.
You can...
Higher than I put down.
I'll have you go first. You're the player.
Okay.
And Moxie, what'd you get? 8?
9.
9. And Braenna, what'd you get?
16.
Okay. Just gonna a little bit of reorganizing.
What did Meriden crew get?
You'll see.
Ah!
Umbran is up first. Combat's fun.
Oh, Umbran. I thought you said Braenna.
I thought you did 2 for a second.
Umbran is up first. Brian is up first.
Dev, if I only have one eyeball, do I have disadvantage on ranged attacks?
I
technically only have one eyeball in at the moment.
So, fun fact, the Cyclops stat block has a trait that says poor depth perception because they only have one eye. So they have disadvantage on ranged attacks that are 30 feet or more. So yes, you have disadvantage if the attacks are 30 feet or more away from you.
Would you
Hit the target.
What would you consider putting my eye back in? Is that an interact with objects?
That's a free action. It's probably not that much effort.
I reach into my pocket and I get my original eyeball and I put it back in my head.
If it's properly lubricated, it'll just slide right in there. Okay, you get it in with some pressure. It's behind, but then you hit your head a couple times and it like jiggles back into place.
No, it's okay. Moxie spit on it for me.
I spit on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whatever works. But it still goes in backwards. You gotta like smack your head a little bit to get it to go the right way. So
that's one of those spinny anime eye things.
Yeah. Once it finds its center of gravity, then bam, it's right into place, and you are fine.
It's been a while since I've had this in.
You take note about the poor depth perception and how that affects your ability to make ranged attacks, as it might come in handy when you're fighting the Cyclops King.
Oh, that's important to know. Too bad we've already established we have no range. I love that. Cool.
What is happening? Is this isn't supposed to be they're not supposed to be here?
Yeah, this happens to us a lot.
Queen. What is up?
Who's that?
Who
said that?
Quentin Giuliano.
Oh, are you gonna stay and fight with us?
I mean, what? I need to make sure that you're okay.
He said he was good at object generation or something.
Good at defensive magics.
Okay.
He can make
I don't
objects
fucking
do
know what
things.
to do, y'all. Okay, yeah, I've got 2 second level spell slots and that's it.
Say that he's actually...
I don't fucking know what to do, y'all.
Now's when you bring out your daggers and become the rogue we've always known you were.
Dude, this bitch's icon is glasses.
I love him.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
There it is. 15 feet in the air on top of the fountain. No, the fountain's not that tall. 10 feet.
I still think this is still the same day as the last, 2, right? So
yeah.
Okay. That just means I can't use my fists, that's all.
Yeah, I guess no point saving resources. Second level mind whip towards the married, because it's all I got, baby.
Oh, right, that's an intelligence saving throw.
In save, yeah, of 18.
Married. Fails.
Cool.
With a 13.
Awesome. That's gonna be 14 points of psychic damage. And then I'm going to whistle and summon my dog.
Oak. I got you. Just appears out of the shadows of Claudius's.
He appears from the shadows of me, okay?
Okay, that
Comes
works.
out from my cape.
Oh, yeah.
3 sorcery points. Okay, I got 1 sorcery point left. That's it.
You can exchange spell slots.
I got 1 spell slot.
Oh, no.
I got 1 second little spell slot and 1 sorcery point left. And I'm going to put him on, I guess this front guy. And he's gonna take a bite. Bite him. Bite that bitch. How do? It's been a while since I put my dog out. Yeah, he gets 1 bite. 9. Does 9 hit?
A 9 does not hit.
Nope, not. That's us. That's our whole turn. And I shrug.
Did the mind whip do stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is mind whipped.
Cool.
Did I just completely miss that whole bit?
Yeah, it did 14 points of damage with a mind whip. That was my action, and then bonus action was summoning Deimos.
Cool. Good job.
Just gonna put a brain symbol on him.
Okay.
Brain.
That's the mind whip symbol.
Love it.
All right. Umbran, let me know when you're done.
I am. That's why I
All
said
right.
it several times.
Number 1 goes. Yeah, I was looking at rings. I'm like, oh, look at all these cool rings. There's a raging ring. Anyway, it'd be cool if there was a mind whip ring, but whatever. Number 1 gets to move. He swirls out of the water. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he comes right up on Braenna with a trident.
Rude.
And there appears to be this ice coalescing around the trident as he pulls it back. Actually, he is going to get right here. He's going to make 1 trident attack against Braenna. That's a natural 20. Oh my god.
Guardian Emblem.
All right, your guardian emblem shines, and you reach out and you offer a little celestial protection, and it'll still hit, but it will definitely not deal as much damage. He's using 2 hands with it, so it's gonna deal the extra stuff with that. That's 6 force damage, and an additional 10 cold damage.
Jesus Christ.
And then the second attack is going to be against Umbran. Can you impose disadvantage or anything?
With what?
Braenna?
Me?
Braenna's not raging.
I'm not
Oh,
raging and I haven't hit anything.
Oh yeah, you gotta be raging. All right, that is a 16 on the die for a total of 23.
Yep, 23 will hit.
And that will be 8 force damage.
Sure is.
An additional 5 cold damage.
Sure is.
And it's gonna make a second attack.
How's it making a... Is it
Or
not a
third
third
attack? Yeah, third attack against Braenna. For a 17 to hit.
No.
All right. You wise up on that third strike. He just comes in and he's holding it like this, and he stab at the 2 of you. Gets the first 2 nicks in with freezing cold energy, freezing over the wounds or the marks made on your body. But the third attack, Braenna wises up, and you jump out of its way. And now it's Canari's turn.
I just block him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't jump out of the way. Are you ready?
Jump out of the way.
action for Twilight Sanctuary. As part of my Channel Divinity.
What? Okay, that doesn't make any sense, bro. Why? I keep putting it over Canari.
Can it move?
I can make it move.
No sanctuary for Quentin.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hold on. I think I know what to do. All right. Wyatt, will you attempt to move Canari?
Yeah. Oh god.
Let me know if you just keep clicking the thing.
I'm just clicking the map.
Huh.
Oh god.
Why aren't you attaching? Here's what I'm gonna do with this.
Oh well.
Okay, well, we're gonna... Oh, were you moving over there, or was that just...
I moved it over there.
All right,
I also put it as like the mount layer.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps.
It should. Okay. As long as you move Canari, it'll move with you now.
Okay. I think I was here. So perfect. That. I think that's 5, 10, 15, 20, just so we're all in it.
And remember, when you're clicking on your token, you can use your arrow keys now.
Cool.
Yep, so every little click of the arrow is 5 feet.
Yep.
All right, everyone is in your Twilight Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience, everybody, as I try to...
Bonus action for Spiritual Weapon, just at a 2nd level, right at the Merid.
And it appears
17 to hit. Or actually, no, it's different. That's just a 15 to hit.
15 will not hit the Merid.
God damn. Okay. That's everything I got.
All right. Quentin's turn.
13 temporary hit points.
I'm not. I don't think I'm equipped for this. Well, at least I have this, and then he casts mage armor on himself.
Maybe you should back up behind us, Queen.
I think I'll be fine. I've dealt with worse. He pulls out a book, a leather-bound spell book, reinforced with iron and silver fittings, and an iron lock that he pops it open, and he speaks an incantation to cast mage armor on himself. And as he does that, he is going to expend a charge from this book to give Moxie. You feel as though as he's casting this abjuration spell, this mage armor,
A part of the little wisps of energy surround you and give you 16 temporary hit points.
Whoa.
And then you all see this little small mote of energy that turns into a little sparrow. I was gonna say canary. That would have been bad.
I mean, I could see him doing that, but we would have all thought he was a creep. So
Yeah. So he has a little sparrow that's flying around him. That is his arcane ward. And this arcane ward has... I'm just gonna write down its... Where is it? Oh, it has 29 hit points. All right. And once he does that action, as a bonus action, he is going to snap his fingers and a little business card appears in his hands. That's it.
Okay.
He gets 14 temporary hit points.
And now that he's done, it's Braenna's turn.
Braenna is gonna rage. Rawr, and whatnot. Was gonna run up to the other group, but don't. Yeah. I think she's gonna take the opportunity if it wants to. She's gonna run up here with her ridiculous amount of movement, 60 feet of movement, because
It'll take that opportunity attack.
Okay.
That'll hit with a 24.
Rude.
And you take 7 points of force damage. No cold.
And standing sort of up on the lip of the fountain so that the Merid and the two guys will be in range, Braenna is going to Arm Beard Tornado recklessly, so disadvantaged. Dex saves.
All right. Number 2 will fail.
Neat.
Number 3, it is a 14, so I think that's a failure.
That's a massive fail. The DC is let me math. 18.
The Merid also fails.
Nice. So that is. Do you want me to roll each damage by itself?
Yes.
Okay. But that is going to be then. Oh, neat. Okay, first one. Where's my one that I want? Oh my god, there we go. 5 + 9, 14, 16 points of damage to the first one.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, garbage. 13 to the second one. And 16 to the third one. For my first attack.
How dare you! Let's lay down and die like you should, you pest.
That's what he sounds like.
And then with that damage that I did to the two little guys, how much does it feel like that hurt them?
It hurt them.
Like
Full damage.
But they're not like badly hurt or anything.
Oh no.
Okay, great. Love it. Pulls out the blood maul, for the second attack at the Merid.
Did you?
Good.
Did you leave the blood maul with your dad, or did you take it with you?
We haven't done that yet.
Okay.
It's gonna do that now, actually, but instead we're fighting a Merid. And you see blood just siphon out, like from the damage that the other dude had done, into the blood maul for -10 hit points to me. And it's a reckless attack. God damn it. For a dirty 20 to hit the Merid.
That'll hit.
Okay. That was a 4 and an 8 on the dice. Garbage. For 15, 20, 15, 20, 20.
Don't they get knocked back or knocked down or anything if you hit them with the iron beam?
Oh yeah, they're
tornado?
all pushed 10 feet.
Okay. So which one are you attacking right now? The Merid?
The Merid. I had 60 total feet of movement, so I still had more. So
Does that provoke opportunity attacks?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. 15, 22. So 22 points of damage to the Merid. And they all have these three have disadvantage on their next attacks.
Oh yeah.
On anyone but me. And...
I will drown you in my fury!
And whatnot.
Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
Alright. Canari. This little guy got pushed back, and he's just gonna rush up on you and the dog.
Gotcha.
Particularly just you. He doesn't actually care that much about the dog.
Disadvantage.
Rude.
It is at disadvantage. And he's going to... You feel the air around his trident, its trident, begin to become bitter cold, and it goes to try to stab you with the trident.
Okay.
Ooh, good thing for disadvantage, because one of those was a natural 20, but the other one was an 18, so that's 25 to hit.
Yeah.
All right. That is a total of 7 force damage and 5 cold damage.
Okay.
Second attack.
That is a total of 1 damage. I negated 11 of it.
Oof.
Second attack was a natural 20 and a natural 1, so natural 1.
Miss.
Completely misses, and then that's a 2 on the die. So those last 2 hit attacks miss, and it is now the Merid's turn. Braenna is right up on the Merid.
Mm-hmm.
So the Merid is going to want to do something fun.
Oh, Braenna got 16 temporary hit points.
Oh, nice.
Forgot you ended in my sphere.
I did.
Nice.
Merid is going to move here so that he can do a water jet in a 60-foot line.
Rude.
Hate this.
Is that a spell?
No.
It's an ability.
What do we need?
So the dog, Moxie, and Canari.
Once more.
And Braenna.
Once more, Deimos is in the way of a line.
DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
For all of us.
Yeah, for everyone that's...
So I think the only one that's really not are Moxie and Quentin, right?
Moxie will get hit. It's a 5-foot line.
Oh, you're doing that way. I get hit too, right?
Yes. It's 5 foot wide.
It's a what?
There's a 5 foot wide line.
No,
So-
the roll, sorry.
Oh, dexterity. DC 16.
Alright.
So
17.
Umbran's not in it, but Deimos is.
Well.
As he puts out his hands and water swirls up from the fountain and he pushes forward. If you fail the DC 16 dexterity saving throw, you will take 22 bludgeoning damage, and you are pushed 20 feet back and knocked prone.
If you succeed?
If you fail. If you succeed, you will take half that damage, but are neither knocked or knocked prone.
I'll just take 5 since I succeeded.
What was the damage?
22 total.
Deimos is still up.
Right.
Since this is a dexterity thing, I can ignore it if I... Yeah. I succeeded, so I can ignore it because of evasion.
Nice.
Yes. You take no damage if you were hit by it. Canari, were you hit by it? Or
Yeah.
did you fail?
And I failed. So
Quentin is actually going to have his little sparrow fly in front of you as a reaction and reduce that damage to 0. As it just like stands in front of the water and like it just like tweet, and it's just spreads around you as opposed to hitting you.
You do get hit by a dog though.
The dog does smack into your knees.
Okay.
So
My poor dog can't
I'm
catch a
still
break.
prone then. Like move 20 feet back and prone then. Since I failed.
You are. So this arcane ward keeps you from taking any damage, but it does like move with you as it's pushed. And that subtracts 22 from the arcane ward's pool. And so Quentin used his reaction to keep you from taking that damage.
What a man.
What a man, what a man, what a man. No need for thanks.
As Canari is laying on the ground.
As Canari is like drowning.
No need for thanks. Everything's fine.
You can really tell he's never fought on a team before.
I think I did just fine. And now the merit is done because that's all he can do, and it is Moxie's turn.
Okay. There's so much that I want to do. I am going to run. I guess. Yeah. Moxie's just gonna kind of come around to this side of the one and punch it.
All right.
That's a 23.
23 hits.
If we got stuff back at Cladulius's that required attunement, we wouldn't have time to attune to it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so that's gonna be 8, and then an extra 1 and
Oh,
4.
Dev, did the Married move during his turn?
No, he was pushed back.
Okay.
He did move.
Oh, he did move a little bit. Oh my gosh!
He couldn't have.
You're right. He still technically could have done that same line because he can originate it from anywhere. But you're right, he did not move.
It's an extra 4 force damage from the gloves.
All right, for a total of?
Oh my gosh.
You said 8?
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Moxie's just gonna keep punching for a 28.
It's key point.
Yeah, but that's just my extra attack. So 11 force and then 9. So yeah, 20 damage on that one.
Yep.
And then yeah, Moxie will go ahead and hit it some more. Okay. That's a 26.
That'll hit.
And that's oh gosh, I hate math. 14, 17, 23. 23 total.
All right. Big hit. You almost brought it down to half in a single turn.
Sweet. I get to hit it one more time for Imperial Blows for a 26.
Yep.
And that's 11, 12, 18 total.
All right. You did bring it more than half.
And I'm done.
You got this. It's in the bag.
That's the end of Moxie's turn. I need to mark it.
All right. Moxie, once you're done, number 3 gets to go.
Okay.
And it's just going to go up on Braenna. It gets a +1 bonus from its friend being within 5 feet of you. Because I don't do flanking. Because that's how I do flanking. And you're reckless, it has advantage. 19 plus whatever will hit. You feel the ice biting cold slice into you for 7 force and 9 cold. Second attack. 20 to hit?
No.
All right. Third attack. Oh, no, that doesn't hit. 2 and a 4. Lucky. All right. That is its turn, so it's back to the top with Umbran.
Whoa. Last spell slot, Shadow Blade. It's the last one. I'm gonna find a dice that might roll good. I'm gonna run past number 1, so it may make an opportunity attack on me if it like.
It already did on Braenna.
This is a great time to run past it.
Do turns not... Oh, until it's the start of its turn?
Next turn,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go here with Moxie and my good friend.
Yeah.
I'm swinging on 2. Does a 20... I'm assuming a 23 will hit.
It does.
With my Bewitching Blade. Oh no, my Bewitching Blade. It's only a 2nd level spell. Alright, let's see. Hope these things take psychic damage.
As the blade passes through it, you see a swirl of water, and its body twitches a little bit, and its head seems to like bobble as it takes the psychic damage.
25 points of psychic damage, and it needs to make a charisma save. And save. What's the save on this? It's been a hot minute.
Whatever save it is, it fails.
It has failed its save. It cannot attack me. And then Deimos is going to stand up for his turn. Use his movement to get right here. And he has pack tactics. No, I hit 2.
My bad.
He has pack tactics, so he gets advantage on this. Come on, hit him. That one's got. Ooh, I think I'll hit him. 22 to hit.
22 does hit.
22. It's gonna be 2d6. He's gonna do.
The water that Deimos bites fills up with shadow as the piercing pain and magical effect seems to degrade at this form.
9 points of piercing damage, which I'd assume is magic because he's a magic dog.
Yep.
And then can this thing be knocked prone?
Not.
No.
Yep. It seems as though whatever purchase Deimos has and tears away, it just tears away water and can't get enough of a hold to knock it prone.
Okay. That's our turn, me and my dog.
Right, and the cool thing about the charmed condition is that if you attack, it ends, but Deimos can attack and the charm still remains.
That's us.
All right. Once you're done, number 1 is going to come here and attack Moxie. First, let's see if it recharges its trident. It does. It's going to use that again. So bitter cold starts to swirl around its trident, and it was attacked. It was not one of the ones hit by Braenna, so it does not have disadvantage.
Moxie does have 12 temporary hit points from Twilight Sanctuary. Umbran has 16, and Deimos has 16.
I still have the 16 from Quentin, so.
Oh, perfect.
So that is 21 to hit Moxie.
That does hit.
1 cold damage and 7 force damage.
Okay.
It's gonna swing her. Whoa.
Oh, my hit points.
It's going to swing around here to try and make an attack against Umbran. That's a 21 to hit.
Yes, 21 will hit.
All right. And that is 3 cold and 7 force damage. And then it's going to make another swing at Moxie. Oh my gosh, for a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
And an additional 7 force and 11 force and 7 cold.
Okay, so 11 force, and then I'm going to a reaction absorb elements.
All right, so you only take 3 cold, and you can add that 1d6 to your next attack.
Okay.
So you kind of hold out your hand and suck some of the icy air into it. Not sure how you did that, but you did it.
It's the ring.
Oh, it's the ring.
Yeah, I have the flame ring on, even though I haven't gotten to attune to it yet, so I'm gonna say it just...
All right, now it's Canari's turn.
I
assume you stand up.
Yeah, I will stand up. Action to... I'll cast Summon Celestial. So Pixis will come in his archer form.
Bam, there he is.
Perfect.
I'm gonna slap a concentration ring on you.
Perfect.
Bam.
Yeah.
I like those rings.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna have, I'll have Pixis there. Just at the edge. He's gonna fire, or actually, yeah, because that's my action, bonus action. I'll just get up off the ground. So I'll use Steps of Night to just go 10 feet up in the air. And then Pixis is going to fire his first arrow at number 1, I think, was the one that's been hit.
All right, it has. It is the one that has taken the most damage.
Okay. Just making sure I have that right. Okay. So, first attack, 18 to hit number 1.
It hits.
Great. 16 radiant damage on the first hit.
All right. The bolt just blasts through this watery form, and water shoots out the back. It's really cinematic and cool.
And then he'll fire at that one again since it's still standing. That is a 17 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. Cool. That
hits against the plate armor that it is wearing and bounces off.
Right, okay. And I'm just gonna sidestep 5 to the right, I think, with the last 5 feet of movement. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna stay there, so Pixis can get temporary hit points.
All right, once your turn is done, it's Quentin's. Quentin is going to actually kind of run into the fray of it. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm coming. 5, 15, right there. He just kind of gets right there. His little arcane ward just flies around with him. Oh, Umbran, you like you like their glass cannon. Let me help with that.
I'm sorry, sir. You were a wizard who just ran into combat.
And he casts Fizbin's Platinum Shield on you. And suddenly you are covered in a silvery light. It sheds dim light out to 5 feet. And you gain resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison damage. If you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to only take half damage, you instead take no damage, so it gives you evasion. And you have half cover, which means +2 to dexterity saving throws and your AC.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Kind of wish you'd given it to my dog, but that's fine.
And
I appreciate your support.
His arcane ward recharges for an additional 12 hit points, so it's back to 29. 19.
I do realize, Moxie, you and I have put ourselves directly in the line again.
Yeah, it's fine. I can take it. I only barely got hit in my actual hit points last time.
It's true. You spent a lot of time falling and all right. Now it is Braenna's turn.
Oh my goodness. There's only 2 of them. I want more of them, but it's fine. Reckless with the Dwarven Thrower. 29 to hit.
Yep.
For 15 damage.
Do you have your Dwarven Thrower?
Yeah, I didn't give it to...
Oh, you didn't give it to him?
Not
Cool.
yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't. Yep, my bad.
Javelins.
Yep, javelins. All right, how much damage?
What did I say? I just said a number.
Yeah, you said it
15.
was a certain 15 damage.
With a Blood Maul for my second attack.
Against the Merid?
Against the Merid for 13 plus 12, 25 to hit.
Yep.
For 18 points of damage. And last one, bonus attack, dual wield with the Blood Maul. 30 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, garbage. For 14 damage. And that is my turn.
He's upset about what you're doing. Number 2 is charmed by Umbran, so it is going to...
Don't hit my dog, man.
It's not going to hit your dog. It doesn't see your dog as a threat.
That is even more insulting.
Quentin kind of came up into the fray.
Idiot.
But Moxie's the one that's been hitting. Quentin kind of just ran up. He's not quite the threat. but he is going to move up, and he's going to see if he recharges. He does. Oh my gosh. He does not have disadvantage anymore, but he's going to make an attack against Moxie. Moxie, does a 17 hit you, or a 19 hit you?
Meets.
Meets?
Yeah, 19 is meets.
All right. Quentin, you feel a hand on your shoulder as Quentin reaches out, and you and him swap places.
I love this little wizard's death wish. So fun.
Moxie's like, what the fuck are you doing?
And you just like suddenly, it just seems like a magical tug, and you are switched, and it hits him instead. So that is 9 force and 10 cold.
So I'll just eat up all his whole ward?
Yeah, it just ate up his whole ward. So because he didn't take any damage, he doesn't have to take anything. He doesn't have to do anything with that. Oops. Ah! I just figured I could do that, so I did. What happens when it reduces to 0? I think it just stays. While the ward has 0 hit points, it can't absorb damage, but its magic remains. Yeah, so it stays. It just doesn't have any protective energies in it right now. So he effectively reduced it all to 0. Wonderful. All right. Now, that was its first attack, so it's going to make its second attack against Moxie, which will miss. Third attack will also miss. And Quentin looks to you and says, "My heart is racing so fast right now. I might have a heart attack. Please, after this, you might need to call a medic or something." He's panicking.
Canari, your boyfriend's broken.
Just take a deep
Not my
breath.
boyfriend.
So that was number 2, and now it's the Merid's turn. Let's see if the Merid gets his thing back. Oh, he doesn't get anything back. He can just use it whenever.
I don't think so, Dev.
Yeah, his water jet. He can just keep using it. He's gonna attack Braenna with his trident. A trident whips from the water and forms in his hand into the silvery gleaming thing. And you reckless attacked, right?
Yep.
All right. That will miss with a 16. Second attack. That is a 23.
Just.
And he stabs down at you for 14 piercing damage.
Halved.
Yep. And that's his turn. Now it's Moxie's turn. You are now suddenly in a new position. 5 feet away.
Okay, well, I'm going to punch number 2. That's gonna be a 20. No, wait, hang on. Sorry.
And the charmed condition ends because his turn ended.
That is a 26.
Hits. AC's 18.
And then these 2. So that is 11, and then 7 force damage, so 18.
All right.
And how does this work again? I can regain hit points number equal to the force. So I'm gonna just go back up to full health. And then I'm going to punch him again, if I could find the dice. I don't think that's gonna hit. So you said it was an 18?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 16. And then I'll just bonus action to punch some more. That's a 29. 20 damage.
You said 28?
20, just 20.
Okay.
Let's see.
And I'm gonna go ahead with the gloves instead of regaining hit points to take advantage on my next roll.
All right.
And that's gonna be a 22. So.
That hits.
And then I'm gonna also, since it hit, I will take advantage on my next roll.
All right.
Where did the dice go? So that's 18 damage.
All right. How would you like to kill it?
So I don't know. Moxie's just like punching water, and then as she punches it one last time, it just explodes, and Moxie gets wet, and the dog gets wet, and Quentin gets wet, and Umbran.
It's so cold.
It's okay. Shh.
Just pat him until he stops.
That's oddly relaxing, actually.
I know. Shh.
Oh. And let me know when you're done.
That's the end of my turn. Except
All right.
Moxie's still doing it.
It doesn't stop.
Number 3 is going to disengage.
Add my cold damage.
Fine with that.
And then back to the top with Umbran.
Do I get any temporary hit points from Canari's thing?
15.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think
This elemental in front of you is not looking good.
I think one is almost dead.
Yeah. Deimos blinks out of existence because his target's gone. That's how the dog works. Yeah, I'm just gonna spin on a heel and swing at number 1.
So the water kind of just coats the dog and kind of like takes the dog with it.
Yeah, he melts like the Wicked Witch of the West.
I didn't know that would happen. I'm so sorry.
It sucks that you like don't get to keep your dog, that your dog only gets to hit one target.
Yeah, that is silly.
It's stupid. Yeah, 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Another saving throw from the Bewitching Blade. Gonna take. Oh, that's a lot of 6s. Oh, that's a lot of 6s. Oh, that's 4 whole 6s. Oh, that's 5 6s with. That's 5 6s. That's 30 points of damage.
All right.
Oh yeah.
That might be the best I've ever gotten. A whole 30 points of damage on number 1.
This water elemental seems to almost barely be holding on.
I'm gonna turn to Quentin and say, I know I nag on you a lot, but we are grateful to have you here supporting us. And I'm gonna give him Bardic Inspiration.
I oddly feel so inspired.
I know, I'm very inspiring. And I give him
and
the
comforted.
give him the nicest smile I can.
Now that makes
That's
me
a
very uncomfortable.
D6 on whatever he would like.
All right. I'm an adventurer now.
I'm a real adventurer.
All right, let me know when you're done.
Yep, that's it.
All right, number 1 is going to attack Umbran. Seem like the biggest threat right now. That's a 2 on the die.
Will not hit.
That is 15.
Will not hit.
Does a 21 hit?
21 does it.
Does it with the +2 from cover?
Yes, I have a 19 AC.
Okay. 21 hits. There's no cold damage with this one. It is 5 points of force damage, and I need a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, if I roll a 1, I won't make it. That's a 19 plus 8, so.
That is the end of number 1's turn, and it is now Canari's turn.
Did Umbran still have temporary hit points?
Yeah. How many hit points did I take? 6? 5? 4? What was the number?
5.
5. I have 1 hit point.
You go back up to 12 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
I will. I'm gonna do a Toll the Dead on. Which one? I'll do number 1.
Right.
It's a wisdom save, a DC 17.
As a +0 to its wisdom. Roll a 7. It explodes.
Yeah, I do.
And
13.
somehow Quentin is once again the only one that gets drenched.
Nice.
Yeah, I do 13 necrotic.
His teeth is chattering.
Seems so inconvenient that you can feel the cold. You really should have fixed that design flaw.
I'm human.
Sad. I'm so sorry.
Spiritual weapon.
Are you a human?
Bonus action.
Yeah, we thought Moxie was a human at first, and she turned out to be
merit.
gold inside.
I am a human.
Doubt.
Oh yeah, 26 to hit the merit.
It hits.
6 force damage. And then Pixis will take 2 shots at the merit. First one is a 26 to hit.
Hits.
15 radiant on the first one. Then that is a 21 or 23 to hit on the second one.
Yep, that hits.
And
AC 17. Oh.
That one's worse. That is 11 radiant on the second hit.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep, that's my turn.
In between the chattering teeth and such, Quentin is going to stay right there. And he's just going to hold up that business card that he's been holding on to, and he's going to throw it at number 3 and make a ranged spell attack. And it'll miss. It just goes to the side.
It's real hard to throw a card in a straight line there. You should really try to use some actual spells there, Quentin.
Somebody have a blanket or something?
I send the flying carpet over.
Wraps around it.
That was an action. Bonus action. He's gonna transfer the shield onto... Who's the most likely to get wrecked? Yay! I'll give it to Braenna. Braenna, you have a shimmering gold, shimmering platinum shield around you.
Nice.
As he transfers the platinum shield to you.
+2 AC or whatever?
It's half cover, so you get +2 to AC and dexterity saving throws.
Nice.
As well as resistance to acid, fire, cold, and lightning.
Nice.
And one other.
I'll take it.
Yeah, so you get resistance to everything.
It's true. Except for
I'm trying. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, and poison. And if you succeed on a dexterity saving throw, you take no damage.
Cool.
And only half if you fail.
Nice. You like it?
And he's just gonna say, I don't think it's wise to stay in a line, so I'm gonna go over here. Hi, little Pixis. Hi, Pixis. Hello. We haven't met yet. My name is Quentin.
He's trying to sort of like reach his hand out to shake his hand.
I forgot Pixis is large.
He is,
Yeah.
he is. You're right.
There he is. It's our big good angel boy.
Yeah, he's just like knocking arrow or like matching arrows and kind of looking up at the small man and just like gives a little wave and keeps firing.
And then it's Braenna's turn.
Reckless with the Dwarven Thrower. 31 to hit.
It's
15. 18 points of damage for the first. Second attack with the Blood Maul. Gosh, crit!
hey.
Finally, I'm taking 10.
That's good.
I'm taking 10 hit points back to myself. Thank you.
Slurp, slurp.
And only a 3 on the dice. So 11, 14, 28 damage for the second attack. Third attack with the Blood Maul. Dirty 20.
Yep.
For 13 points of damage. And that's my attack and bonus, or it's my action and bonus action. Not moving. So that's my turn.
Now that it is your turn, he is going to go over here. He's going to release another water jet. Gonna do it right here. So every creature within 5 feet of this line. Oh wait, no, within half a foot of this line, or half of 5 feet. It's 5 foot. Feet line. So Braenna, Umbran, Moxie, and Pixis all need to do dexterity saving throws. Braenna, again, you have the +2 from having cover from the shield.
30, 20, so I take nothing.
Correct. So the shield blocks all of the water that's blasting around you.
I feel like I'm just like, the water's just like curving around.
Reminder, it's a DC 16 dexterity. And the
This has
damage.
got a natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 19.
18.
All right, sounds like everyone succeeded. So if you can take damage, it will be half of 18, so 9.
9.
So
Cool.
Braenna and Moxie take no damage. And that is bludgeoning, and no one is knocked back or prone.
Beautiful.
You're welcome. And that is all he can do, so it's Moxie's turn.
I feel like it's almost a little bit like Flashdance too at the end there.
I accidentally moved the concentration on top. So.
Moxie will run over to 3
Nice.
and punch.
Punch, punch, punch.
And I have advantage from the last time.
You do, and it's a snowball effect, so you can just keep getting advantage if you keep hitting.
So that's gonna be a 28.
AC is 18, so if you hit, you don't even have to tell me the roll. You can just tell me the damage.
Oh gosh, 11 and 13.
24.
There you go. And then I'll still have advantage.
That was 24 damage. Wow.
Yeah, and that's a natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So, of course. So that would be 11 and 6. So,
17, 34.
yeah, yep, there you go. So bad at math.
You said 34?
Mhm.
I love it.
Math is what I do all day.
I'm just so bad at adding. I've had to use my fingers all my life. We're gonna
That's
just
fine.
keep going with the punches for a 29. 10, 14, 20 for damage.
Nice.
And then, does Umbran need healing?
Not really.
Okay,
I'm at 75 of 88, so.
I wanted to make sure because I could have used one to like run back over and slap you.
Not good.
So that's gonna be
I
27.
could have just ran over and slapped you.
Yeah. 10, 15, 21 total.
All right. You sure did smack it.
Yeah, I punched it a lot.
Yeah, you did 99 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
Those
It's still up?
Those fists are so good. Those gloves. The end of my turn.
All right, Moxie, at the end of your turn, number 3 gets to go. Even though he's barely holding on, he's going to make some attacks against you.
Yeah.
If he gets his cold damage back. Does not. So, first attack. 18.
No.
Second attack, worse. Third attack, much worse. And then it's back to the top with Umbran.
I'm just gonna do some parkour off the side of this fountain. Oh no. I'm gonna move my concentration ring and then parkour. And just come up to finish the one off for Mox. That's cocked. Yeah, 19 on the dice plus numbers. Or and exactly 20 points of psychic damage.
All right, how do you want it to die?
I cut it in half with my scythe as I do like a parkour and a big swing. And since it's psychic energy, it goes right through it, and it seems like nothing happened because it's water, but then it wibbles and it explodes, and we both get it.
And then Moxie holds up a very wet 10 out of 10 sign. Where she got it, we'll never know.
It's written on the back of the Pebbles picture.
Yeah.
It's everything because Pebbles is a 10.
Yeah.
All right. When you're done, it's Canari's turn.
Yep. Oh, does anybody want inspiration?
Oh, yeah, Quentin still has that.
Canari, do it. We believe in you. There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Canari holds up a middle finger as like a bell sounds. Almost as if she like flicked it. No, not at
Okay.
her. She goes, "Thank you, Umbran." Just screams "fuck you" at the. Oh my god! Already.
Umbran's like, I thought I was just trying to be nice, and Moxie's like, it's not for you. It's not for you.
My Fitbit brand broke.
Oh no, my Fitbit.
It just like completely snapped. That's weird. I flicked off too hard. Okay, well, I will wear a different watch tomorrow. Using Umbran's bardic inspiration, just this like mass almost seems to like a star imploding sounds off as Toll the Dead is directed towards the Merid.
All right, it has a +7 to its wisdom. That's an 8, so total of 15, so it takes the damage.
Fails. So 3d10 necrotic plus 1d8 from Blessed Strikes. I rolled 2 1s and a 2. My D12, so 4.
I think your blushed strikes are only weapon damage or attack
No,
rolls.
the ones on Tasha's.
Oh, or cantrips. Yep. Hell
And
yeah.
then 4 radiant damage.
For a total of
8.
only 8?
Yeah, there's a cantrip.
Yeah, it's the thing about when you roll a lot of dice, it's either really good or just sad.
It'll move. Spiritual Open will move 10 feet. Try and hit the Merid. Does a 19 hit?
Does.
Okay. So that is another 1 for 5 force damage.
Oof.
I hate it here.
And Pixish.
This first attack, 19 to hit.
19 hits.
13 radiant.
Hell yeah.
And 26.
That'll hit.
There we go. 16 radiant.
How would you like to do it?
I think Pix is like very nonchalantly is just like, it's like, guess who's back? Back again. Pix is back. And it's just like, I'll add the I could have added the bardic to something. We'll just say like Umbran's like bardic inspiration passes from Canari onto the final arrow of Pixis's arrow as it like shoots through in this like combination of like inky darkness and like like almost like the shadows of like a fire. And just like pierces the Merid through, and it's just like a very slow-mo, just like creaking fall face first into the water and frog legs in the air.
And then he bursts into nothing but water, leaving behind his garments and a satchel.
Braenna's right there.
And that's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Braenna grabs a satchel.
I have no idea what's
just
on
yells,
that.
"What the fuck is wrong with the security system?"
What them garments, though?
Them garments.
I don't know.
For us.
Anyways,
That was very
D&D
stressful.
this hard.
Is this what you have to deal with on a daily basis?
Yes.
Every day.
Easy.
Every day out in the dungeon sphere. This was nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today. I have to pee really bad. I'm gonna be right back.
Moxie
Oh
and
my
I
god.
all
we
mountain last
will
time.
see
That
everyone
was so fun.
on Monday for Resleray. Follow if you haven't already.
Also, come back tomorrow. I'm gonna text Patsy so they remember Patsy Draws.
Woohoo! Subscribe if you're so inclined, and on the YouTube. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.